Welcome to ATT Live. I'm Braden.
I'm Dan.
Coming at you every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Is that right?
That's how time works.
That's how
time zones work.
That's how time works?
Yes. You got that right.
Holy fuck, do we have some unhinged. You know, this is the show where listen, not a lot of prep work. We're reading articles. We're bringing you the hard-hitting news in the alien conspiracy and the world of weird.
0% fake news here.
This is why it comes out Weird Wednesday. That's why this comes out releases Weird Wednesday. It's because this is just weird news that we collect throughout the week and we want to talk about.
This is the stuff that doesn't make it onto the main show because it's so important that we do it on live.
Yeah, we have to. It's so pressing. It can't wait till an hour from now. What do we got today, Dan? What are we going to kick things off with?
Well, true to our name, we have to start with our, the most recent developments in the weird world of aliens and UFOs. So just recently, apparently, a man named Frank Milburn, who is a veteran of British Army's elite parachute regiment, has told the DailyMail.com that he has spoken to a member of the MI6 run unit that has conducted an alleged operation to recover alien UFOs. And I can only assume that it was James Bond because if it involves the MI6.
Well, and it's like, that's true to form. A friend of his.
Right. He said so this guy, Frank Milburn, who is a veteran himself, says he spoke to a man, a former member of this military unit, special forces unit, which he gave the man wanted to remain anonymous because, for obvious reasons, your military, clearance.
I think he's still active too. Yeah, he's still active military from what I gathered from old Frank the Tonk, as I like to call him.
And so Milburn says that the man, so he'll refer to him as John. And he said that John in the 1980s worked for a secret unit known as E Squadron, which specialized in covert.
Like fucking Navy SEALs. That's fucking Jesse Ventura of the UK.
Right. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura and Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
All together on one team. This is basically the team that was headed up by Dutch, I assume, is what it looked like. Except they were British, so they just, I don't know. They were all wearing jaunty derby caps and stuff. I assume,
I guess so.
Tuesday in it.
In it, governor.
So during the 1980s, he was saying that while this unit was active, they kind of specialized in covert and clandestine paramilitary operations. And I think he compared them essentially to like the CIA, like joint, like CIA run like joint task force. And then you would have like.
So they're up to no good.
Essentially, these are the guys that you're like, this is the 0 Dark 30 kinds of guys, you send out there on Black Ops and you never hear about it ever. This is Joint Special Operations Command, like JSOC, and this would be staffed by what are known as Tier 1 units, which include Delta Force and like SEAL Team 6 guys. So apparently they had, at one point, they were tasked to secure and retrieve a craft that had gone down in the north of England. And they didn't say, it's not clear in the article about how it was down, like whether it had crashed or whether it had been, brought down by Earth's forces or something like that.
I mean, that's actually a good point, because from I would have to guess, based on reading this article, that this thing crashed, because later on he talks about like this guy telling him about times where they've like tried to engage with these flying discs and like fucking homing missiles can't lock on, don't hit targets. They like get real close and hitting them with the machine guns. Nothing works on these things.
I also found in the article, they said that the former name, before it was known as E Squadron, I guess it was previously known as the Increment. What's the name that they gave us?
That's
But they were like, or was it? Because they're like, we don't want to be known as the Increment. Can we have a cooler name? Can we have something else? They're like, oh, fine. You don't like Increment? Fine. You know what? You guys can just be E Squadron. Like, wow. Okay. I'm fine.
Not even A Squad.
Yeah. Not even A Squad. Not B, not C, not even
D.
D. You guys are E Squadron.
E
now.
for everyone. Nerds. Dude, Dan, you're getting roasted in the chat. People are talking about how big your shoulders are, and they're like, Dan's traps are touching his ears, and they're like, yo, cool it on the trend. Dan's doing his first bodybuilding show later this year, so he's getting swole. He's gonna be all bronzed up from the neck down.
I'm getting fit for E Squadron. That's what I'm doing. So I guess John had gone on to say that, their entire, he kind of went on to describe like parts of the operation. He said that they were tasked out to kind of secure the craft. And so they were going to secure the area and get down in there. And like, while they were there, they said that they had scientists come in and give they observed scientists or what they assumed were scientists coming in and giving the ship a once over, flying in these helicopters, which is like, I don't know, guys in lab coats and
even better than that though. As they're like fucking securing the perimeter, they're like, bring the scientists in. I'm guessing like a truck door just fucking drops and scientists come scurrying out. One of these members is like looking, and he's like, we can clearly see they fled that way. Get the ATVs. And another truck door just drops and they fucking zip out like Jurassic Park style on ATV and 4x4s just taking off into the desert looking for these aliens that have taken off.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I was picturing in my head. This is Jurassic Park 2. They just like open up the doors and like the dirt bikes come out.
They jump them out.
Popping wheelies, like going after these, whatever.
Wait, my whole career. E-Squad, roll out.
John said that they actually they had dispatched like part of the unit, like half of the unit stayed to secure the craft or the crash site, and then half the other units were tasked to go ahead and pursue the occupants who had fled the scene, or what I guess they said that there were signs that they had left on foot, and then they were going and they went off after this. So after that, Milburn says that John doesn't really describe like the rest of the operation, which I was like,
he doesn't want to talk about it. He's like, I've said too much.
Right. I was like, well, yeah, I guess it's like, wait, no, like you only told us like half of the story. Like you told us that much of the story. Like, why not just tell us the rest?
Well,
just speak on it.
Well, and then like the reporter from the Daily Mail talking to Frank about John and goes like, how can you believe John? He's like, John's my friend. I've become great friends with John. And listen, I'll tell you one thing, and this is quoted in the article. Fucking John wouldn't fucking bullshit about this kind of shit.
That's right. In the article, he places most of the reason for having a lot of faith in John's credibility is that they're both veterans. So I mean, I can attest to that where it's like, yeah, okay, you feel a certain companionship with other veterans and stuff like that. And he was kind of saying that he vetted the guy through other veterans that knew him, and he came to the conclusion that John wouldn't fucking bullshit about this kinds of shit. I guess and that's good enough for him.
He's like, I had beers with him at the Legion. He wouldn't fucking lie about this bullshit.
We got hammered together. He bought me beers.
I was at his daughter's brie. He wouldn't bullshit about this.
We'll see where that comes out. I'm wondering. I don't think I've heard of Frank Milburn.
No.
Before he's big in the alien scene yet. So I don't know if he's going for a book or what. Well,
they reached out to like the government, the UK government. They're like, one, who's Frank Milburn? Two, they're like, we have no, the standard government. They're like, we don't know anything about this.
We don't know this guy.
We don't know this guy. Yeah, they're like, we don't know this guy, and we don't have any crafts. Well, because he's talking about a different guy. So they're like, we don't know Frank Milburn. And he's like, coming out. He's like, I'm coming out because I feel more comfortable. Whistleblowers coming out. And it's like, well, fuck, you're not You're not really a whistleblower. You're a secondhand whistleblower. You're blowing someone else's whistle.
Yeah, you're borrowing somebody else's whistle and blowing it. That's just bad form, in my opinion. But wait. So Frank Milburn, like, there's no record of him being in the military. Is that what you say? Is that what the article's saying?
They just said they didn't know him. They're like, we don't know who. Like when they were asked, they're like, we don't know who that one. Well, that's such an easy response. If someone came to me and was like, hey, we got a question about Richard Work and his involvement in UK crafts, my first answer would be like, who's Richard Work? And I have no idea about what you're talking about. Like it's such an easy answer.
Yeah, but it's also I
haven't looked into it.
You could also find
know.
somebody's like military service record. Like you could find that probably. It's like, was he ever part of the military?
Yeah, he's like we weren't asked to find it. We weren't asked, can you find his record? We're asked, do you know him? And I don't. That's not
personally.
a lie.
I don't know him.
Hey, listen, someone's chewing me out for drinking Bud Light. I bought like a 30-pack 2 weekends ago because they were cheap, and I'm gonna drink them. Kid Rock drinks them again, so it's all good. Don't worry about it.
That's right. What? Wait, what? Somebody's giving you shit about drinking
someone's
Bud
like,
Light?
it's bad enough my Canadian heroes drinking Bud Light. It was like, listen, there was a 30-pack, not even 24, 30-pack, and you got a free Yeti beer koozie. So I was like,
it's mostly for the beer koozie.
Yeah, that's like that.
You're losing money not buying it.
Yeah, it's like the beer is free. The Yeti beer koozie cost me that's the same price.
Yeah, it just came with shitty beer, and you're just like, okay, like,
what am I supposed to do? Not drink it?
Yeah, it's just like just throw the pack in the garbage when you bought it.
Pop them all, shoot them with my shotgun. What am I supposed to do? I'm broken.
Yeah, Kid Rock would be disappointed in you.
Yeah.
All right. So, if military UFOs aren't in your bag, I'm wondering if we have any listeners in France who could give us some insight into the what is it? The Symposium Exovision, which was a festival that was held, I think it's last week and this week. There's still some activities going on right this. So apparently in it's a small French town called Limoges. I don't know if it's French. I'm not 100% sure to say. Like
Limoges?
Limoges could be that. Apparently several thousand people.
Can you say several? Isn't several like 3 or more?
Maybe.
No, it's like 2,200. So we can't say several.
That's like, yeah.
That,
I guess more than 2, less than 5
is several.
I would say probably.
I thought
2,
3 or more was several. I mean, we're splitting hairs here, but it's not. It's 2,200 people.
So okay, so like 2,200 well, that's attendees though. But what about people like manning the event though? You know, like
okay, all right, several thousand. I stand corrected.
So you had about several thousand participants who went to this Symposium Exovision that was organized by a group called Alliances Celestes, or Celestial Alliances, whose main goal or professed goal, at least on their really great website that I went to check this out, very well designed, totally doesn't look like it's straight out of the 90s. Their entire
spacejam.com.
Yeah. They claim that their entire goal is to prepare and train humanity for the arrival of extraterrestrials or new style encounters.
Yeah, through dubstep.
Was that
I don't know. As soon as you say festival, I just imagined them all like
yeah. I'm not sure 100% what they mean by new style encounters, because in my head there are 2 different types of alien encounters. There are the
good and the sexy.
Okay, again, maybe 3. So now I would say there's 3. There's the Thurum. Thurum encounters where the aliens are taking you on board and
benevolent,
and teaching you the secrets of the universe,
telling you what's wrong with Earth.
Yeah, you're part of. We're
talking
part
shit
of
about the strife.
Yeah. Guys got to be careful with your nukes, and you want to join the giant space party, and then you guys need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Then there's the sexy ones. There's the sexy encounters. There's the Villaboas.
Yeah, Villaboas.
Sex jelly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's the and then there's the bad ones, and then there's
the
the
reverse
streamers.
sexy.
Yeah, and there's the bad sexy.
Yeah.
So enlightening, good sexy, and then bad sexy are the three different types of alien encounters.
Yeah. Well, and not saying there's anything wrong with the bad sex. To each their own. Some people.
If that's your kink, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's all good.
Whatever. But yeah, so these this group, the Celestial Alliances,
wait, is this a sex festival? What are they preparing for?
Oh shit! What was that one that we talked about? That was that one that was it the
because that was in France too.
Was that in France?
Yeah, it was. It's the French cult leader who like had the weird sex alien cult.
No, that was the Raelian. That was the Raelians. I mean, the Raelians are sexy alien encounters too. But there was the other. Wasn't there the other guy too? That they all dressed up like aliens and stuff, and you're like 100% they are having sex in alien costumes.
Yes,
like that's what they're
and
there
they're on
for.
the beach.
Yeah. That was the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Listen. Yeah, French, the French and their weird alien sex cults. I mean,
the best kind of alien cults.
Yeah.
So I guess they're having some new style encounter. I really am curious as to what new style encounters are. Like I don't know exactly what they're in the implying in there, that they're old style encounters and new style encounters. But so I guess on the event's website it says their stated mission. This is their quote. The mission of this citizen delegation is to accompany humanity in this process in order to properly inform and reduce the fear and stress that this type of encounter can generate. I'm sure that's Google translated, but it seems pretty accurate. And it seems relatively harmless. Like, it seems like, okay, people communicating with aliens, that's all right. If you're interested, there's a couple of events that are on the docket. One of the events, I think this is on the 20, I think it's actually today or yesterday, the 24th. Exopolitica workshop, communicating with benevolent galactics. During this workshop, we will learn for 2 to 3 hours to better get to know the people of the stars, their way of living, and interacting with citizens of planet Earth with a view to greater collaboration, successful galactic geopolitics. I think these are some of the topics that are on there. Galactic geopolitics, telepathy and projection of consciousness, the different vessels and their origins, the different types of stellar and galactic civilizations, and etc.
So like basically they're just like they're. So from what I gather is perhaps some of the people running this are experiencers, and they're like, they had to be brought up to speed, and they're like, fuck, we had more questions. So what they're trying to do is get other people up to the same speed where they're at. So that like, if you get picked up, you know all this, but you can be like, hey, skip this. I got some other questions that I'd like answered. You know what I mean? Like, I know I understand the geopolitics. I understand the telepathy. I get all that. We can just glaze over this.
Yeah, I've heard about you guys already. I know where you're from. Like, I recognize you guys from descriptions. Like, let's get on to some more pressing matters or whatever. Let's get the sex jelly out. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, well, I like that because it's basically sharing the knowledge of what other experiences already have. So listen, you only have so many precious hours missing. Okay, you gotta use the most of them. If you're coming back with the same shit everyone else is coming back with, I don't remember. The lights are so bright. Like, Come on, you gotta fucking get in proper form here, right? We need to weed through all this, introduction and get to some new information here. So that's kudos to the event organizers.
I think. So another one of the events is the Celestial Arts Workshop on Zoom platform. So this was on Zoom, I guess, if you pay for like a digital ticket. And this one is, our aim is to accompany you with kindness and pragmatism on the path to your celestial contacts and to enable you to pass through the stages, giving access to new expressions of art more in tune with who you are. And if you go to their website and you see the picture, the picture accompanying this event, it is something that probably like a seven, I don't know, like a fifth grader drew. It's like very impressive. I mean, it's just it's open to everybody.
Art,
so
beauty's in the art. Beauty is the eye of the beholder with art,
right? Yeah.
I mean, and listen, art is basically there to launder money. So it's like
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta. Well, that's real. Yeah. That's real. I mean, that's.
So apparently media are banned from the event, but the French aren't all that great at listening to rules. So some local reporters, like, this is pretty cool. Like, some local reporters from the news media Le Populaire actually snuck their way into the event. And they actually, I guess they documented some of the things they saw. They saw the general director of the group, Jean-Michel Rau, who apparently was dressed in some sort of blue and yellow outfit with a cap. And he introduced himself as being from the planet of Niam, Niam is how it's written. So he is, I guess he's claiming, I don't know. It's not really clear. Is he channeling a being from a planet? Is he portraying a being?
Well, I mean, they talk about telepathy and projection of consciousness. So maybe like something's projecting their consciousness into him.
Right.
Into his vessel.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
He made claims, I guess, while on the stage, saying that he meets regularly with aliens. He can draw extraterrestrials to specific places on Earth, and that he's witnessed real UFO landings. Those are his credentials for leading this thing.
Greer must be choked. Greer's like, who the fuck is this guy?
I've never fucking heard of this guy in my life. Yeah. His veins bulging out of his fucking neck.
Fucking,
I'll snap that French sissy in half. So I guess they also heard from Anne. Oh my God, I can never say. I always see this French name. I have no idea how to say it. It's Givauden, Givauden. Givauden? Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's French, Dan.
Thank you. Really? And I guess she labels herself a galactic reporter.
Wait a second. I thought they said no reporters.
Right. I know. What the hell? They don't even follow, the hypocrites can't even follow their own rules. Yeah. And she says she comes from the land of Shambhala, and told the attendees that she saw human animal hybrids in Antarctica, which I believe she implied that those were not the alien human hybrids are created by not the good extraterrestrials, but like the bad ones, I guess, or some kind of
penguin men. Polar men?
Polar bear men? She said human animal hybrid, so I'm not even really sure.
Well, if they're in Antarctica, though, I'm like, what? Is there anything in Antarctica? I think penguins.
Yeah, penguins and,
Is there polar bears?
Seals?
I don't know if there's seals.
I think.
Is this some sort of tusk scenario?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess she comes, how do you, she's a galactic reporter. Like, what? She comes from the land of Shambhala. So Shambhala is like Tibetan, that's
I'm pretty sure Shambhala is a drug festival in southern BC.
Yes, it is also that. But but that's also that's like Tibetan Buddhist thing. I mean, the Shambhala being their kind of their nirvana or whatever. An actual. I think it's supposed to be an actual physical place that you can reach, but or spiritual nirvana. It's one of the two.
What about spiritual Valhalla?
I think it's more less violent than Valhalla. So it's for wusses.
I thought you had to be violent to get to Valhalla, but once you're there,
do.
It's still violent.
Yeah, it's still violent because it's like eternal battle. It's just like that's all you do all day. You eat and fight and eat
and then
fight.
dying.
Yeah,
No.
and then fight some more. Yeah. So yeah, I wonder if anybody attended that. If we have any French listeners out there, please call us and please correct my pronunciation and
or don't.
That's cool too. That's fine.
I think it was probably spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything exactly how they say it in France.
Next up, we don't often do too much. Not a lot of time do we get the ability to do follow-ups to stories that we talk about.
No.
Because a lot of times they're, outrageous, outlandish, insane. And obviously the government offs these people instantly as soon as these articles come out. But this one, you may remember from a couple weeks ago, the woman, I think I called her a grave digger. She's basically cruising the graveyards looking for famous ghost dates. She married a ghost. What was her name again? Brocardi?
Brocardi. I've only read it. I don't think I've heard it pronounced, even though I watched one of her music videos in preparation. I think I watched the music video that was which depicted or it was like a dramatization of her marrying Eduardo, her ghostly pirate husband.
Yeah.
the first one. I think I watched that. I watched that music video, and that was something.
But her and Eduardo split up.
Yes, they're officially split. I think we talked about it. We talked about it. If
you don't remember, it's because it's like you're in the land of the living,
right?
And now you're whatever your score out of 10 is looks wise goes way down in afterlife because
I think it was a pretty messy divorce. They had to have an old priest, a young priest, and a lawyer there. Yeah. So,
but since the divorce and this, the turbulent issues with her ex ghost husband, Brocard has done what any one of us would have done, and become a paranormal investigator.
I mean, once you've married a ghost, that's like, that's the natural progression, right? Like I think, except Zach Baggins, I guess, has done it backwards. Like he's already started out as a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
And then he has to
marry his ghost.
He's got to marry a ghost at some point, which will probably be like on the 30th season of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
But and she has done this. I guess her and Eduardo have, they've reconciled. They are on friendly terms. He has given her his blessing, according to her, to become a paranormal investigator. So I'm not sure what she's gonna do. I mean, I guess. You get a TV show, right? Is that when you become a paranormal investigator? Does that just happen? You get a TV show?
Because she also said that like Eduardo used to be a pretty fucking miserable ghost. Like when you'd look at him, he's like fucking boo, all that kind of shit. And like now that she's like, I'm dedicating my life to be a paranormal investigator. She'll just every now and then see him in the distance, just giving a smile and an approving nod. So she knows she's on the right path now, and she knows she has Eduardo's permission to become a paranormal investigator.
So yeah, I mean, but the only thing I worry about is like how her professional ethics are going to be as a paranormal investigator. Is she gonna? I mean, she's already married a ghost, right? Like, is she gonna stay on the right side? How do we know she's not gonna fall in love with another ghost and like put her entire career in jeopardy? How's she gonna stay objective in her investigations with ghosts? Because when eventually, as a paranormal investigator, you have to investigate ghost murders. So how do we know? Like, she's gonna,
right? Yeah, like how, like we know she fancies a ghost. Like, so
yeah, I feel like she's compromised already. I don't know.
Like what kind of integrity does she have? I don't know. It's this lady's interesting to say the least.
I feel like this is kind of she's the kind of lady you would see on the street. She's like, oh yeah, she's that weird lady that lives down the block. Like, well, you know, kind of strange.
And since the first article about her and her relationship with Eduardo, she has amassed an Instagram following of 185,000 people. Right? So she, like, what does Zach Bagans have? Does he have that many?
I probably at least. I think that.
I don't know. I don't know if Zach Bagans.
Does he have an Instagram account? Can you check?
I'm going to check.
I have to check if Zach Bagans.
Okay, he does. He's
we should be following. Are we following him? Yeah.
No, we're not. We are now, though. He has 991. But she's off to a pretty good start, right? Before she even gets her History Channel show. She's already at $145,000. You know what her show should be called? Ghost Affairs.
Oh yeah,
that's a fucking.
Can you message her? Message her that. Follow her.
Copyrighted. Copyrighted. What? How do we copyright it? We just choke copyright.
Yeah, we just decide
copyright.
Yeah.
Ghost Affairs. Paranormal investigator who also sleeps with the ghost clientele. Ghost Affairs. That's phenomenal.
She's just gonna become mediator, where she just mediates like ghost divorces.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
She's like, look, I understand. I was there. I have been in a relationship with a ghost before.
I like mine better, but both are copyrighted. Both are copyrighted.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, mediator. And Ghost Affairs. Both.
So yeah, I don't know. Like if he could go ahead and do that. I mean, I don't know if she has a show. It'd be interesting, depending on who's on that. Yeah. But speaking of hauntings, we were discussing before the show, before this article, we kind of wanted to put the question to the chat, like if you were going to build an amusement park and you wanted to guarantee that amusement park was 100% going to be haunted, where would you build it?
Yeah, and we're asking that because there's a new amusement park going up.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is it amusement park, it's a fucking water park. And where is this water park located? At the world's most deadliest lake, Lake Lanier.
Yeah, they're apparently building. What is the name of the name of the water park is going to be called Fins Up Water Park there's a Margaritaville at Lake Lanier Islands.
Yeah,
which
puts a new kind of spin on wasting away again at Margaritaville.
So I guess people are mad about I'm not sure what it's like in the article. I guess they're mad about the water slide coaster that's going up at this water park, and it's actually got a pretty cool name. It's called the Apocalypso water slide, which I thought was pretty good. I think that's a really good name.
I thought I wasn't that impressed. I was like, that's a cool name. I was more impressed that it's going to have the world's largest Blastorango drop.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
And I didn't look that up as to what it. You need to look it up right now.
Blastorango drop?
I don't know what a Blastorango drop is. I thought it was some kind of like energy drink. I'm not really sure. And I was like, I'll try that.
You're like, is that a Mountain Dew flavor?
If it isn't, it should be.
Oh, okay. It's one of those like tube drops where your tube goes down and then you go up, ride up. It's like a half pipe, basically.
Oh.
That's what they call a Blastorango drop. So you drop down a steep incline and then up the other side. That's the Blastorango drop.
Okay.
In water park terms.
This is something now I need to like in water slide engineering. There's probably like 100 terms that are really interesting. I don't know. And I feel can you imagine being like now in my head, I'm writing this whole thing where it's like a water park like water slide engineers is like a whole thing. And they're all just guys that wear like, Hawaiian shirts all day. And they're just like, oh, Blastorango drop, bruh. Yeah. It's like if they're going and they got all these these math equations like running through their heads and be like, if we just like make the angle right here and we increase this by 30 degrees, it's totally gonna be Shaka Bra. Like it's just like, oh my god,
it's gonna be the biggest blasterango drop in the world. It's gonna be downhill speeds of 30 miles an hour. People were fucking losing their minds and being like, a water slide amusement park on the world's most deadliest lake. Are you fucking crazy? Like, do you know the history of that lake? Like, they displaced black communities, like unjustly, like lynched, like possibly innocent black man for murders they may or may not have committed. No trial. And then ran everyone out of their homes and flooded this area. They're like, how dare you make an amusement park? I'm like, listen, I'll go. My body was built for water slides. I can't help it. I was like, listen, like, honestly, I would go to a water park in Auschwitz. I would. If they're like, I would go see it. And then I'd be like, you go visit, like you have a pretty heavy day. And then you're like, holy shit, there's a fucking Wet and Wild over there. Oh, let's go to that. Let's lighten the mood. Right?
Yeah, I feel like if
you
somebody
go to the
were
Cambodian killing fields and you're like,
you go to like Gettysburg, go to Gettysburg and they're like, we're building a new water park at Gettysburg. I'm like, oh fuck, water country USA, Civil War, oh shit. Oh man.
Yeah, dude, what's better after a really heavy day where you have to really take a hard look at humanity than fucking cruising down and you're down a water park in your board shorts, baby.
Yeah, you can go and watch Civil War reenactments and then you go blastarango drops all day. Like that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can't. And listen, we're going to open up the lines now. 1-833-703-0424. If you've got an idea where you're like, hey, you know what? You know where they should fucking put in a haunted amusement park? We want to know where you think one should go because that's going to be our new venture capitalists. We're saving all the money we raise here to open up our own haunted amusement park. Listen, it's by a lake. I don't know why people are so fucking upset. Like,
I guess I don't know if this thing goes into the lake. Like, is this what that's like they're mad about? Like, I don't know. To me, I'm like, okay, it seems relatively harmless. You're like, okay, Lake Lanier, like people go, Lake Lanier's been a place where people have gone for a long time. And like, I do understand the history of the place and all of that. And, like, I don't know, like, to me, I'm like, it doesn't honestly, people were just really, most of the social media people were like really mad about it.
Well, and the thing is, the crazy thing to me is I'm like, there's a way deadlier lake. The Okanagan had way more deaths last year than Lake Lanier, but we got a call on the line. Yeah. Let's go to the caller. Hey, welcome to ATT Live. Who we got on the line?
A long time listener.
What's going on, John Jacoby? How's it going?
Hey, Lake Placid. Think about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All gator themed.
Yeah.
Dude, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, I like it. Lake Placid, right. Gator slides, Gator Ranch.
Yeah, slide right through the mouth and then land out in the lake.
The tube ride's called the Death Roll. I like it.
It's good.
All right, hey, I think so, yeah. Everybody else, call in and give your ideas.
Thanks, John. That's a good one. Lake Placid. I like that. Placid? Yeah, that's good. Is Lake Placid real? Is that a real place?
I thought it was
fictional.
Could be. I don't know. I would think like, it's like, I mean, you could put one there. I thought it was a real place. Like, Lake Placid is a real place in New York.
Oh, dude, man, all the slides are shaped as a gator. Like,
I can't believe they haven't capitalized that on already. There's been like 3 Lake Placid movies. How have you not made a
they're all
water
fucking
park
bangers.
Yeah, they're all amazing. Every single one of them.
Unbelievable.
Isn't Betty White in the first one?
Was she the one feeding it?
I think so. That might be another one that I'm thinking of. There's maybe another.
But I don't know if it's Betty White in the first one I'm thinking of. What else we got, Dan, as we're waiting for if anyone else wants to call with their amusement park idea?
So we have talked about Bigfoot, who is our number one cryptid. And we have talked about we possibly what is Bigfoot? And we're always kind of asking, what is it? Is it a physical flesh and blood creature? Is it an interdimensional, some kind of interdimensional
some
entity?
Weird apparition?
Is it a some kind of alien creature? Some of these sightings are being some of these sightings being accompanied by UFOs of some type. And maybe we're way off the mark because apparently there is a professional exorcist, or actually he refers to himself as a non-denominational deliverance minister, which I've never heard of. But his name is Bill Bean. And old Bill Bean.
Yeah, Reverend Bean, Dan.
Sorry, Reverend Bean. My bad. I got to put some respect on it. Reverend Bean, who has had a eventful life in his 57 years on this planet. He's claimed to see aliens. He's claimed to have run demons out of people's bodies, exorcised the demons. And he's also had, I guess, Bigfoot encounters. But what he says, he believes that Bigfoot is the product of the fallen angels who accompanied Satan onto this earth after their fall from heaven. And they came down here and, when they took human women, everybody knows this is where you get Nephilim.
Yeah.
And, there's some people out there that be like, oh, Bigfoot is Nephilim. I've heard that theory that, he's a Nephilim, that these are the large giants or whatever. But Reverend Bean is like, no, not exactly.
Preach, Dan.
Because these Nephilim, not only did they go to the earth's women, but they went into they went into our fields and they forests and they copulated with not only women, but apes and bears and wolves and dogs and monkeys, anything that they could find.
Anything with fur. These things were wild. They didn't care.
And this is where you get Bigfoot.
Sasquatch, Grassman, Wolfman.
They're all just hybrids from when these angels came down from the fallen angel fuckfest.
Yeah,
that
and
occurred after their
all these Nephilim fall. Having these unnatural sex acts. I was like, when I was reading this, I was like, this is absolutely the greatest theory I've ever heard, especially when you find out this guy had a major drug problem up until he was about 35.
Wow.
And then he is like, you're like, oh, okay.
Well, you would be too if you were busy, exercising demons and seeing all these UFOs and ghosts and stuff. You might have to turn to some, recreational drug use.
I really want to go to wherever this guy, where his sermons are. They must be fucking unhinged.
We must. I don't even know.
Fucking Uncle Baby Billy talking about fucking Nephilim sleeping with bears.
And then fallen angels came from the skies, and they came down here and they slept with our women.
Not only did they fornicate with human women, but human bears, female bears, male bears, wolves, whatever they could.
And there was a subtitle on this article where it was saying that they were like, so it's like the thing is like Bigfoot. The headline is like Bigfoot and Sasquatch are alien human bear hybrid babies, and there was like a subtitle where it was like it made it sound like it wasn't the Nephilim having sex with the bears. It was like the women having sex with the bears, or like the hybrid offspring of the. Is that right? No,
dude, that's a freaky forest.
Oh, I get it. Okay, no, I'm just reading it a little bit closer now. Okay, my reading comprehension is kicking in here. It's a second behind here, but I get it. Okay, so the Nephilim, after the angels came down, had sex with the women, then they had the Nephilim. Then the Nephilim went out and fucked everything.
Everything,
okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay.
Invalid ID is asking: is this the guy who was performing exorcisms on the Bermuda Triangle? Do we know? It kind of sounds like his MO, to be honest.
It sounds like somebody
Reverend
would do.
Bean. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It sounds in character for Reverend Bean. Yes, very possibly could be.
Where is this guy's church?
I don't know. I don't think you necessarily have to have a church as a reverend. I'm not sure. I don't think.
What do you mean?
I was like, I don't know. He's just like a traveling exorcist. I thought he was just like a John Constantine.
Is he just
guy.
He doesn't? How is he claiming to be a reverend?
You can be a reverend. You can be you could be a priest and not work at a church. Like you can go work at somewhere else. You just got to
get ordained, and then you can call yourself reverend.
Yeah,
I'm ordained. Why can't I? How come I haven't been calling myself reverend?
I don't know. Why haven't you?
I don't know. This is unbelievable. This is news to me. I thought you had to have a congregation.
No, you just need to go out there and make some outrageous claims about fallen angels, fucking bears.
Dude, I'm an ordained minister. I should have been fucking making bold claims all the time.
Yeah. Then you would have, yeah. Then everybody would refer to you as
no.
you know, Reverend.
See, people in the chat are calling me Reverend Braden. I don't like that. It's either Reverend Craig or Reverend Renner, which I would shorten to Reverend.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Bless you, my children.
So I didn't know this. Actually, you know what? It does make sense though. There are a lot of
for people asking. I have performed
exorcisms.
One ceremony. If you remember from old ATT stories, that's where everyone made fun of me for looking like Paul Bearer.
So I didn't know this, but it does make sense in a weird way. That there are certain city ordinances that are put down. If you ever go like in probably somewhere, I'm not exactly sure where you would find this, but you could go into like check city ordinances and like what is prohibited like within the the city limits of your town or your town limits or whatever. But apparently in the favored vacation spot of Myrtle Beach. Everybody, I've been there once, like when I was younger. But a favorite tour destination of the South, the U.S. Southeast. So I didn't know there that they did bone readers, clairvoyants, numerologists, palm readers, and other practitioners are banned from practicing within like the city limits. Like they could not, they're not, it's a 1960s state law from like 1962 that apparently prevents them from selling their services town by town.
Dude, it was in the Canadian Criminal Code up until like, honestly, I think probably 2020. Witchcraft, sorcery, fortune telling, and there was like one other like that was all like listed as criminal code offenses. Like you couldn't tell people's fortunes, like you couldn't do any of this. This was all criminal acts in Canada up until just recently. So it was wild to me to read this and be like, I thought the United States was the home of the free, land of the brave, or whatever you guys say down there.
Not for witches. It's never, yeah. Home of the free.
And you can't, not witches. Right, not fortune tellers.
No, we've had trials here, many of them. We've had Salem witch trials. It's never been a free state for witches. But so, apparently it's been on the books since the 60s, which I guess maybe when was Satanic Panic? Maybe that's when it rolled around. But apparently when that might have had some bearing on when they wrote this law. But now they're deciding that within at least Myrtle Beach, they're going to lift some of these zoning rules, and they would allow for people like fortune telling, tarot card readers, reading tea leaves. I don't know how popular that is in the U.S. Reading bones, which is also referred to as osteomancy for those. Numerology, mediumship, clairvoyance, and others. I think there's some that they said if it's not specifically described in the or listed in the zoning code, it won't be permitted. So you can't do any what is the one with the chicken entrails? I don't think they're gonna let you do that one.
I think I could get into the bone reading. I think that's fun. Like I think it kind of reminds me of like the D&D feel, like shake your box of bones. There we go.
Brain's like polishing off a like KFC bucket, just like
then you just dump the bucket after you're done.
You just toss it in the fire.
All right, let's read your fortune. I'm gonna be sick. I'll tell you.
Are you just burning your garbage?
Yeah, first and foremost. Everyone who ate is gonna have diarrhea.
My God, he's right. I feel it happening already. So it's like I guess that maybe this is a trend that'll start happening where we'll start listening this up, because I know there are palm readers in my town. I know I've seen signs for palm readers, and fortune tellers and the such. So it's like, it's not something my town is a little bit more free apparently than some other places.
Have you ever got a reading? Because I remember I got a reading with you
they're all in
Thailand.
They're all in a weird place. They're all in weird places in my town that I'm like, no, I'm not going to go there.
No, I've never had a good one. Where someone's like, because some people will claim like, oh, they guess stuff and like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just a blank slate when these mind readers get to me. They're just like, fuck. This is a tough one. There's nothing going on there.
This guy's so generic.
No, man. Did I ever tell you, Dan, at Science World in Vancouver, British Columbia?
Right.
This is 7 years ago, probably. There was this machine, and you hook these helmets up, and you touch the sensors to your head, and it measured brainwave activity.
Sure.
And the goal was to remain calm and try to get your brain activity as low as possible.
Oh, okay.
Right? And the ball would move towards whoever had more, like the net of whoever had more activity. So you wanted to remain totally calm. So I'm watching all these fucking kids go up there and fucking brain waves are going, right? And they're fucking, the ball's going back and forth, back and forth. I hook this thing on, and there's a kid, like he's probably like 5 at the other end, and I'm just staring at him like this. And literally fucking flatline, dude. Dead. Dead. The ball just rocket. It looked like 100-mile-an-hour slap shot. Fucking to his side. And this kid's like focusing, like trying to like become as brain dead as me. Impossible.
It's just like emptied out. Just like slack-jawed Julian. Just
zero activity up there, my man.
Nothing going on.
That kid didn't stand a chance. But I could do boner. I would like, you know, like the tarot card or something. I wouldn't mind going to like someone who does it professionally, just for the experience. I don't really need to know anything for my future. I don't really care. It's pretty bleak for me. I know that. I think anyone's been following the show knows that.
Well, you know, just check with your town council and the zoning laws of like where you can practice osteomancy, I guess. So that is something that I mean, like maybe that will become a trend and there'll be more places. It's such a weird thing to be like, was it like banned? Like everybody started going to the town like, we need to kick out all these fortune tellers. We need to spruce up the boardwalk, get rid of all these vagrants and gypsies, you know? And it's like, okay, like they just like got rid of all these people. Like, I don't know. I have to look into that a little bit more. That seems interesting.
Someone just asked, did I say diarrhea? Yeah, that's how I pronounce it.
That's how you say it.
I don't remember why I started saying that. I think it's because instead of tortilla, I say tortilla.
Tortilla.
And then
even though they're not spelled the same at all.
No. I say tortilla, and then I always thought it was funny just to say, got the old diarrhea. Because everyone knows exactly what you mean. It's just kind of, It's got a fun flair to it.
Yeah. Makes your diarrhea a little bit more fun.
Yeah, a little more Western.
A little more wacky diarrhea.
Yeah, a little more Southern when you got that diarrhea. Listen, if you're a tarot card reader, is there like Zoom? Can we do one by Zoom, like online? I'd do one. I'd do an online one. Is there Zoom?
Probably. I mean, do they do Zoom appointments? I guess they could.
Like, do I have to be there? That's what I'm.
Do I have to be in the room to read my aura? Like,
a couple of shout outs. EMT guy, he wanted to say hi. I'm a new listener and I've been listening to your podcast from the beginning. I'm at podcast 55-ish. Keep it up. I enjoy it. Eventually I'll catch up to the present. You don't want to stop around 100, my friend. It's where it fucking really starts to slide downhill. Thank you for listening.
It starts to get good.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Holy shit. First time joining live. We're every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And listen, if you want to support the show, there's tons of ways to support the show. You can go to the old streamlabs.com/Alien Theorists Theorizing 1 /tip. Get yourself on the tip leaderboard. You want to be the fucking tip leader? Like, who's the tip leader now? I know it's not John Jacoby. He's number 2. Duchess of Doobies, and Hell Hemi 74. John Jacoby's number 3, I think, right now, as it's listed. You can do that, or head to patreon.com. You get hundreds of hours of bonus content. You got access to our Discord server. You get access to the live streams. and all the cool shit we do. And in fact, immediately following this one, we're recording the case file about Boing
Boing.
and all their shady stuff they do.
Killing Edwards in chat is like, I can get a tarot card reader for real in New Orleans, clean or dirty as extra. What is a dirty card tarot reading? I know it's a joke, but I'm like, now I'm trying to think of like, what's a clean tarot card reading? What's a dirty tarot card reading?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Is there a distinction?
Lizard Caveman says,
is the dirty one like they use naked lady cards on the tarots?
I like those ones better. Anyways, it's like the old
the porn star cards, like porn star deck of cards. Like they have like
it's just a stack of cards they used to hand out at Vegas. They know.
Yeah.
Lizard Caveman says diarrhea is what you get when you eat chipotle and theorize. Yeah, pretty high. Accurate. And Caesar P says, "Sup, boys? I called about ball lightning in the middle of the desert a few weeks ago. I think you called the Cosmic Challenge. Wrong show! Or maybe you did call this one. I don't remember. Anyways, that's it for this ATT Live. Please, like a post, share a comment, download the podcast, or just tell your friends, right? Help the show grow. Thank you so much for listening. And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies."